Hi, I'm Nadine Pruitt, and I'm a faculty member here at Mitchell Community College. And I'm here today to talk about ways that you can use the iPad in the classroom. The modules will focus on using it in the academic setting, both for faculty and for students as well. This particular instructional piece is going to come in 3 different modules. The first module will focus on features of the iPad and ways to set up your iPad. Your next module is going to look at the basic features for the iPad. The third module, we're going to be looking at applications and how to integrate these applications into the classroom, creating presentations, and how to actually put together a contextual teaching and learning project. And I will talk further in detail about the contextual teaching and learning project. These are 2 projects that we've already done here at Mitchell Community College. What can we do with the iPad? The particular iPad that I'm using right now to demonstrate is the iPad 3. And as most of you know, the iPad came in to the market using the iPad 1, the 2, and the 3. The iPad 2 and 3 has video recording accessibility. It also has a camera. It also has FaceTime. Now with that, using the iPad 3, with that, you have more leeway for projects. Now going back to the iPad 2, it did have a camera, it did have the FaceTime, and yes, it did have video recording. However, it was not high definition. So Apple was wonderful to come out with the iPad 3, and here is a demonstration of what the iPad 3 can do, and it gives you a better idea of what the graphics are like with this particular iPad. If you take a look at this photo shot, this is a shot that I took using the iPad 3. Can you guess what this particular photo is? So this gives you an idea of what the difference in quality is with what you're getting if you are using an iPad 3. Here's another example of what you can do with the iPad 3. The Retina display on the iPad 3 is phenomenal. This is actually dog hair. And as I'm going through these photos, think about ways that you can use the iPad in your classroom with these particular features. Again, this is a close-up. And this bud is about 2/4 of a size. That's how close you can bring the iPad to your subject. So that pretty much gives you an idea of what you can do with the iPad. Now beyond just photos, you want to bring your classroom to life. And how do we do that with the iPad? We want to think beyond the box. When we are in the instructional setting, we think about textbooks. We think about PowerPoints, we think about videos, we think about all the standard traditional ways of teaching. Well, with the iPad, you can think beyond the box. You can take the classroom and integrate that into a contextual world and flip it around. Now think about your students, think about faculty. What can I do with an iPad besides putting together a PowerPoint and showing you what can be done. Before we move forward, I want to talk about the different features that are involved with the iPad. The first thing you want to learn about is the home button. And as you can see here on the screen, the home button is there on the very bottom. It's the little round disc. That home button is your most important button. And you're going to find using that button more often than any of the other features on your iPad. That home button will take you back to your home screen. That home button will take you from Safari, which is your browser, and I'll talk some more about that, and bring that right back to your home screen. So get to know your home button. And before I move on with the rest of the features, let me talk about some care about your iPad. The iPad's very particular. So basically, the temperature for these iPads have to be somewhere between 32 to 95 degrees. If it's too hot, it can decrease the battery life. If it's too cold, it can affect the features of the battery. So you want to make sure that you're not leaving this iPad in the car on a hot day, or leaving it out in the snow, but who's going to do that? You just don't want to be exposing it to odd temperatures. The status bar is at the very top, and it tells you what the battery life is. These iPads can actually last up to 10 hours of battery life. So as students and as faculty, you can be in the classroom with this iPad for literally 10 hours at a time using your iPad. So that's the beauty of the iPad. You do not have to plug in until it's just about ready to be plugged in. I let my iPad drop till about 10%, sometimes 5%. Before I plug it in. But I should let you know that the minute that battery dies, the iPad completely goes blank, and then it's ready to be plugged in. Needless to say, everything that you do on your iPad is automatically saved. So if you're working on a project, you're in the middle of a project, and all of a sudden your iPad goes blank, don't worry, it's been saved. The next time your iPad is charged, you turn it back on, you will find your project there. And there's the USB power adapter, that's your charger, and then the USB cable. The USB cable can be also plugged into your PC computer, and with that is how you connect to the iTunes. Speaking of which, before you start with a brand new iPad, you want to make sure that you've already plugged it into iTunes and registered the iPad. That's very important. It must be registered to iTunes. If you already have an iTunes account, simply go into your iTunes account and register your iPad with your iTunes account. What that does is all of the applications that you purchase for your iPad will be saved into the iTunes account. So if something happens to your iPad, if it gets destroyed, or if it is lost or what have you, your applications that you purchased are saved, and that's on the iTunes account. And another feature to Apple is the iCloud. And I'm going to talk about the iCloud and how you can save some of your features there too as well. Now, the iCloud will actually allow you to have access to your contacts, your calendars, your documents, if you wish. And there's a way to turn it on, and there's a way to turn it off from your iPad. So you can choose to place that into the cloud, or you can have it simply saved to iTunes. It's your choice. and we'll talk about that some more. Going on with the features, you all should have received a smart cover. If you haven't, it's a great cover to get for your iPad. The smart cover actually puts your iPad to sleep. It has magnet, so what it does, it puts your iPad to sleep. And when you open it, it should be turning your iPad on automatically in the sleep mode. Looking at the front button features, there's also the sleep-wake feature. The sleep-wake feature will actually turn the iPad off or asleep. You can choose which you prefer to do. Now, to put your iPad to sleep, which is what I usually do, I rarely ever turn my iPad off. To put your iPad to sleep, you just simply press on the sleep-wake button, and once you do, that's putting the iPad to sleep. And what sleep means is basically, it's not completely off. If you need to get to your iPad quickly, just simply hit the sleep-wake button again and the iPad comes back on. If you wish to turn it off, use the sleep-wake button, press and hold, and when you press and hold that particular button, it will put the iPad to sleep. I'm sorry, that will put the iPad, that will turn the iPad off. So if you press and hold your sleep button, that will turn your iPad off. Once your iPad is powered off, in order to turn it back on, press and hold your sleep-wake button. You'll see an apple appear, and then your iPad is back on again. And again, it's not necessary to turn your iPad off unless it freezes up on you, because there are some applications out there that can cause it to freeze up. So simply just turn your iPad off, turn it back on again. That'll help with rebooting your iPad. The side switch, it switches to orange, visible, or it can go to a lock screen rotation or a mute sound effect, can be turned on or off. And that can be applied to either setting. And with that particular feature, I will show you where you need to go to turn that on and off. And that is part of the settings module that we're going to talk about. Other features, there's a mic and a headphone jack with that. So if you do have a video that you'd like to present in class, or you have volume that you'd like to use for your slides, you do have a mic feature. If you need to do a hard start, again, if your iPad freezes up on you, press and hold the home and sleep button until the apple appears. Release, then press and hold until the apple appears. So with that, it actually reboots your iPad for you. If you have running applications, I will show you what that looks like. And I'll show you how to get to running applications. You can clear it or you can leave it, whichever you prefer. The benefit of having running applications available at all times is that you can toggle in between applications much easier. Let's take a look at the keyboard. Now, if I clicked on my browser, you will see the browser in the very bottom to the left. The browser for the iPad is Safari. If I clicked on Safari, this is what was in my browser last. And if I need to close that out, see the X on the top left, just simply hit that X, and that'll close out your last browsing information. See the book on the very top to the left? If you tap on that book, it will show you all of your bookmarks, and as well, you will notice that there's an iPad user guide on the very bottom. If you click on that iPad user guide, that will give you a good basic overview of the iPad. So when you do have the chance, go down to each area and it will help you identify different ways to use the iPad. I'm going to close that out now, and I'm going to try and Google something. So I just clicked on the Google bar in the top right, as you can see. And with that, my keyboard showed up on the page. I can either split my keyboard in half or use the entire keyboard. To split your keyboard in half, simply take 2 thumbs and place it where the G and the H is located. So your left and right hand, and spread it out. And that will give you a split keyboard. There I can go ahead and Google what I wish to Google. If I want my keyboard back again, take your 2 thumbs and slide it back together. This entire lecture series is contextual, so if you do have an iPad with you, it'd be great if you follow along and practice along with it. The more you use the iPad, the more comfortable you're going to be with it. So now I can go ahead and Google something I wish to locate. I will Google Mitchell Community College, and as you can see, it'll give you an automatic list on the very bottom, just like Windows. Click on what you're interested in and it will go ahead and find that for you. So that is your browser in a nutshell. Now think about if you are in the classroom, be it student or faculty member, how can you use instant Google search? Or using a Safari. How can you use this in a classroom? Think about ways that you can make this contextual. Let's take, for example, if I am doing a lecture on looking at nursing, I'm going to click on my Google bar and see where that X is to your top right. That X, I'm going to grab my viewer so you can all see. This X here, if I click that, that'll take out my last Google search, and I can go ahead and type something else in there. So I'm going to look up nursing. Let's try the Board of Nursing. North Carolina Board of Nursing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the North Carolina Board of Nursing. So if I'm an instructor in the classroom and I'm teaching about nursing, and I'd like my students to look at the mission statement for the Board of Nursing, or if I wish my students to look at different agencies that are out there, different publications that are out there, I can have them quickly go to any site and look that up. As well as an instructor, I can pull this up during my lecture and ask my students, okay, so what do you think about this particular mission? Or if I'm looking at any publications or forms that I need to get to, I can guide my students to that. So see how quick this works? If you were using a PC in the classroom, it takes a while to load the information. With the iPad, it has dual core processor, which means it's so much faster than what you will have with the laptop or your desktop. So that's the beauty of having an iPad. The features are phenomenal. And to get to the information that you need, it's pretty instantaneous. So that's one example of what you can do in the classroom. You can go to your browser, once again, which is your Safari, get into your Safari and browse whatever information that you wish to browse for your classroom. With this, I can give you one example that I've used the browser for in the classroom. I did a lecture on culture. And so I split my students up into groups of 4s. And each group were required to look up a different culture. I took out cards and I had them randomly choose a culture. And as they choose their culture, they were required to look at 4 different objectives that I needed them to meet. So one objective was, what does this particular culture do when it comes to death and dying? What cultural beliefs did they have for birth? What cultural beliefs did they have for meals and how that would be important for the bedside when they're hospitalized, and etc. So I found 4 different objectives that related to the course, gave that to the students, and the students each had to look up one of those objectives. And as they did, all they had to do was go into their Safari, pull up a culture, Chinese birth, say they want to look up Chinese birthing. They can simply go to the websites, find a reputable website, and look up the information that they need. So you have an idea as to how they can simply use the Safari feature. That's just one of the features out there that these students can use. The other feature that I'd like to talk about is searching iPad files. If you have a file that is sitting on your iPad but you don't know where you put it, and incidentally I will show you how to put your applications into files like this. You simply swipe from left to right on your screen. And again, one thing I did not talk about is the fact that you notice, of course, you don't have a mouse like you do with the PC. So everything is touch screen. So by swiping from left to right, that will bring you to the very front of the screen, and there you can search for any file that you're looking for. So if I am looking for, let's say for example, where did I put my iSwifter? Okay, there it is. I click on that and it'll take me right to my iSwifter. There I am. And when you're done, you just simply click on your home button. So as you're watching me, please do this. Your home button, and there I am back home. We can try that once again. Touch your finger from left to right, slide over, and type in something that you would like to find. The next thing I think I want to find would be my Keynote. There it is, and it'll take me right to my keynotes. Okay, and then when I'm done, I can just simply hit my home button, and I'm back to my home screen again. Before I move forward, I'd like to show you one more PowerPoint, and this particular PowerPoint is about the iPad and the use of the iPad in the classroom. Okay, and before I start, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I actually begin a PowerPoint, and I will go into further detail with this. The PowerPoint is set up very similar to what you're used to with your PC. There you see your thumbnails to your left and then your PowerPoint ready to start. Now, to your top right, you will find this button right here. That's your arrow button, and that will allow you to begin your PowerPoint display. Now, when we're thinking about using the iPad in the classroom, how can we effectively integrate technology into the classroom? To make this effective, we have to keep in the back of our mind that the tablet is just a tool. It is just a portal to your instruction. It is just to augment your instruction. Nothing more, nothing less. Is it required for our students? Well, yes, we have made tablets, mobile tablets, required for our students. Is it required for them to pass the course? Absolutely not. So this tablet is basically just strictly a tool for the students to use to help them with their education. As well, for faculty, this is one way to keep in the back of your mind that, hey, the tablet's just a tool. It's nothing more than that. If there's still features that you need to learn about, take the time to learn about it. But just keep in the back of your mind, it is just a tool. Statistics have shown that most K through 12 schools are using tablets. They're using mobile tablets. And what they have found is that these tablets have taken the place of textbooks. And as well, here at Mitchell Community College, we have used these tablets to where students no longer are required to come to class with their piled high levels of textbooks. And with nursing, we do use quite a few books. So studies have shown that students actually have been walking around with back aches, back pain. They've been going into the emergency room to have their backs examined because they've been carrying too many books. What these tablets do, it provides a portal. It is a tool to help the students find the information that they need. All of our nursing books are accessible through the tablet. They can get on to any of their textbooks using their tablet. And here's the difference in price. I will give you an estimated example. For the amount of books that the students have access to, if they were using hard copy books, the cost would be $1,700. Having the books available as electronic textbooks, it brought the cost down to $400. That is the difference. Now, along with their electronic books, they also have access to journals. So how do we bring technology into the classroom? How do we integrate technology? When thinking about textbooks, you want to be able to work with your publishers, talk to the publishers about what textbooks are available, what do they have in as far as planning, Are they planning to move toward electronic textbooks? That is the direction that most universities, colleges, and K through 12 especially is moving toward. This eliminates a lot of stress for the students. They can be anywhere and read their textbooks. The wonderful thing about moving toward electronic books is we have the students downloading their reading material into what is called the PDF Expert, and I'll talk some more about that one particular application that we use. By using the PDF Expert, the students are able to retrieve their reading material offline, so they don't have to be in a wireless environment. As well, instructors can do the same. So that's one way to integrate technology into your classroom. And to make it effective, think about the electronic books. Think about ways that you can collaborate with your other faculty members and how you can integrate this technology into your classroom. What media projects can you come up with for your students? Students, what projects can you think about putting together using the iPad? When we think about effective instruction, we want to look at, okay, what are the objectives that these students have to meet? Students, think about the objectives that you have to meet. Look at everything. How can I make it effective? How can I use this tool to make my objectives effective? What activities can I produce to reach my objectives? And as instructors, how can you assess your students using this tool? Don't reinvent the wheel. As instructors, I know we all have already created our lectures. Well, don't reinvent the wheel. You already have it available to you. Start with what you know. Start with what you already have and integrate that into your classroom using the iPad as a tool. I hope this information helps. You know, it's very difficult, I know, for many to move from using a PC to using the iPad. So now it's either Windows or it's Apple's. Sometimes it helps learning different technical devices, because with that, you can bring that into your classroom and make it much, much more effective. And you can be so much more diverse in that sense. The next thing we're going to talk about is wireless connection. With wireless connection, basically our iPads are available via the wireless connection. So if your classroom has wireless setup, this will work for that. If it does not have wireless setup, you may have to use 3G or 4G. 3G setup, basically, as you know, there would be a charge for that. But that's something you want to work out with your school administrators. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to set up your email account. To set your email account up, first thing you want to do is go to Settings. So click on your Settings button. And again, please follow along with me, and this will help you. And you want to go to where it says Mail, Contacts, and Calendars. Go ahead and click on that. Once you're there, as you can see, I created several email accounts. Go ahead and hit click on Add Account. Choose which account that you wish to use. If most schools are using the Microsoft Exchange, some are using Gmail, go ahead and click on which one that you wish to use and follow the prompts. Put in your name, your email, password, etc., description. And I'm going to show you how my email was set up. Okay, so once you put your information in, you'll have an account. So basically, you'll be putting in your name, your server information. That's information you want to get from your school. Or if you are using your home email, you can use your server information from there. Find out what the school domain is, you can put that there. And then fill out the rest of the information that is based on what is required for your campus. SSL is on. Once you're done, hit done. And then it'll ask you to go ahead and accept the email account. So once you accept it, you have created your account. And again, you can create multiple accounts. As you can see in this particular screen, I can go ahead and turn any of these on or off. That gives me full control as to if I would like to have my email account, calendars, my contacts, any of my reminders available through what is called the iCloud. Now, if you would like to set yourself up an iCloud account, just simply click on iCloud and you can create yourself an iCloud account. I created an iCloud account, and in the iCloud, I chose to be able to have my contacts available, so I turned that on, and my calendars available, and as well, find my iPad. What this does for me is if I forget my iPad, or if I have created some files, some documents, and I had it on my iPad, I can go into iCloud on any computer and type in my account. Once I type in my account and my password, it will take me right into the iCloud, and from there I can pull up my documents, my contacts, my calendar. I can also find my iPad if I lose it. So that's the benefit of having access to the iCloud. I would suggest create an iCloud account. It is free up to 5 gigabytes. If you go over that, there is a fee to purchase, but you can always take some of your accounts off. And again, you can control which features you want to be going back and forth between your iPad and the iCloud. Now, once you have created your email account, you can go ahead and create contacts. If you hit your home button, on your home screen, you should have a contact icon that looks like this. So click on your contacts, And here in your contacts, you can add information. If you take a look at the very bottom, click on your plus sign and go ahead and create a contact. So if you wanted to create a contact for your school, etc., just go ahead and fill that information in. And once you're done, hit done. The reason why my done is not present is because I haven't typed any information in yet. But if I just go ahead and type a letter in there, the done will then show up. So you have to type information in there in order to complete it. So I'm going to go ahead and create a contact. Let's say all right, and at the same time I'm going to show you how to use a particular feature to make corrections. So I noticed that I typed in Sanders with a small s. I wish to capitalize that, please. So all I do is take my finger, land it on the word that I wish to fix, and hold it, and there you'll see a magnifying glass show up. And if I move my finger, drag my finger left to right, that little blue line is your cursor. So this is where I want to change it. I want it right there, let go, and I can go ahead and do my changes. See where this icon is located on your keyboard? Click on that. And there goes my S. Now I wish to capitalize my S. This is how you capitalize. Use your arrow up. That should turn blue. Once it turns blue, I know I can put my capital S there. Once again, grab your finger, land it on the screen, on the word that you wish to change. Your magnifying glass comes up. Once your magnifier comes up, move it back and forth to where you want it to be, and then make your changes as such. Okay, so once you're done and you completed all of your information, you can get rid of your keyboard by clicking on this down arrow and click on Done. And there you go. Now, I'm going to look for Paul Sanders. And in order to search for Paul Sanders, I have a little search bar here. If I simply put his name in, Paul Sanders should come up. There he is, Paul Sanders. Okay. All right. So that's how you add information to your contacts. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to edit your information. I'm going to pull up the Apple directory and use that as an example. On the very bottom, you see where it says Edit. Click on Edit. And at this point, I can either delete some of this information or change some of this information. This red line tells you you'd like to delete it. If this delete comes up, click your delete and you're on your merry way. If you wish to change it, if you don't want to change it, just click anywhere on the screen and that delete button goes away. If I wish to change the number, once again, grab your finger, land on the information you wish to change, let your magnifier glass come up. Once it's up, go ahead and make your changes. Once you're done, click on Done. and you're done. So that is how you create your contacts. Once you create your contacts, you can use the feature called FaceTime. And that would be our next step. I'm going to talk to you about FaceTime and how to use FaceTime and what ways we can use FaceTime to enhance our instruction in the classroom. Here's the feature FaceTime, and that should be on your iPad. You don't have to download that. If you just click on the FaceTime, and these are contacts that are on my iPad, and I can click on any of these people that are in my contacts, and I can FaceTime them. As you can see, it is reflecting on me because I have my camera right here, and FaceTime is basically what it says. It's FaceTime. So I can talk to students using FaceTime. If there's something that instructors need to console and discuss with their students, this is a wonderful feature to have. Other things you can use this for, students, think about group study. If you want to do group study, this is a great way to do it because you're actually doing it face-to-face. And if you'd like to call anybody, you just simply click on the name that you're looking for. I'm going to step out of the screen for now. And the person I'm calling will have to be on FaceTime as well. So let's take a look and see who would possibly be on FaceTime. Let's see. Let me check and see if one of our technical support people might be available. I'm just going to go ahead and see where it says this person is not available for FaceTime. So this person that I'm trying to reach is not on FaceTime at this time. So it's a good idea to let your contact know, hey, I'm going to be calling you on FaceTime. Can you make sure that your iPad is on? So basically that is how FaceTime works. They can see you, they can hear you. It's a wonderful feature, excellent feature to use. If you can't contact your students and your student's unable to make it to the classroom, wonderful way to use it. And as well, students, this is great for group study, or if you can't make it to a particular event, they can FaceTime you and actually let you see the event during the FaceTime. So I can take my iPad and actually show the entire classroom, and that will give the FaceTime. So if I were to pick up my iPad, it's actually a camera, so I can take it and pan around the classroom. You have an idea. And there's the video recording that's recording us, and back again. So think about ways that you can use this feature. So are you beginning to see that the iPad really is a tool and how useful the iPad can be in so many ways? The next feature I'd like to show you is the use of the calendar. If you click on your calendar, I went ahead and placed a few things in here. Let's go into July. Upcoming events. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a blank calendar for now so you can see how this works. Your calendar can be used, can be viewed in these different features here. So to toggle back and forth, click on day. If you just want to look for the day, the week, etc., it's all up here to toggle back and forth. I like to keep my calendar in month format because it gives me a much easier accessibility to just go in and do any changes that I wish to create. So I'm going to go to January the 9th. So if I click on the 9th, by adding information, I simply take my finger, land it on the day, and see where it says new event, let go, and that will allow you to type in your information. So go ahead and type in something there to give yourself an idea of how to use this. Let's see, the 9th, I will groom. Let's see. Let's do some garden work on the 9th. Location, home, and see where it says start and end. If you click on that, it gives you the access to have it as an all-day event or not an all-day event. Well, I just want to set this for one particular time in the day, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I don't want it to be an all-day event. And did you see that changed on the bottom to where it gives me access now to a time? So just scroll to the time that you wish to find. Let's do that at 9 a.m. And I'm going to hit done. The next feature it's going to give you is, would you like it to repeat? So if I wanted to do gardening every month, I can go ahead and repeat that every month. So just click on repeat, and I'll have that every month, and I'm done. And I also, if you scroll up, did you see that? I just landed my finger on the box and I scroll up and down. I would like to have it alert me 15 minutes before the event. So just click on alert and choose your time, and done. If there's anything else you wish to add there, you can, and then done. Once you're done, it's there. And if you look at the following month, garden work on the 9th, and the following month, there's your garden work. Every month on the 9th, that's where it's going to be. Now if I wish to remove that, go back to garden work, land your finger on there, and see where the edit arrow shows up. Click on edit. And you want to take your finger and scroll up. So take your finger, hold it onto the screen just like you would with any kind of swiping, and just scroll up and you'll see delete event. Now it will ask you, do you want to delete just this event or all future events? I'm going to just delete all future events. And there you have it. Now, how to make your calendar communicate with work, with home, or personal files. To do that, go ahead and click on your home button. Take yourself back to home. On the very bottom, click on your settings. Settings here. On your left side, once again, click on where it says Mail, Contacts, Calendars. This gives you full control of what you want to do with your mail, your contacts, or your calendar. Take your finger once again and land it on your screen and scroll up to where you'll find calendars. Okay. And here, where it says calendars, you can go ahead and indicate if you want new alerts on or off, your time zone, and etc. Do you want it to sync all events? I leave it on syncing all events. That means if any event comes up, it will show me the information. Here's your default calendar features. Exchange is my work calendar feature. Gmail, and then iCloud. So these different colors represent something for me. I have my checkbox on it where it says Exchange Calendar. So I'm using Exchange as my default calendar. You can choose any of your calendars, rather it's your home calendar, personal calendar, work calendar, to be your default. Just go ahead and simply click on the line that you're interested in being your default calendar, and there you are. And to get back to the main settings screen, just hit Mail, Contacts, and it takes you back to the main settings screen here. Reminders are here too as well, and reminders will come up occasionally for you, and it'll tell you this is what you need to do for the day, etc. And you can go ahead and change features there if you wish. And just go ahead and scroll through and see all the different controls that you have available to you under this particular feature. And here with my mail, I turned on everything. I want it to show to CC label, etc., ask before deleting, etc. You can control all of that right here. So it's right here at your access. So you don't have to go through having to go into the computer and having to turn on and off these features. It is right there for you. So far you've learned how to create your contacts, how to use your calendar, how to use FaceTime. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how to use your notes. You already know how to make basic changes with particular words if you need to go in and make those changes. And I'm going to show you how to make more changes and how to create notes. This is one example of a note that I created. Now, to add a note and create a brand new note, anytime you see a plus symbol anywhere on your iPad, that means you would like to add something. Very similar to what you already know if you're a PC user. So this plus sign always means to add. Take a look at the very bottom here. This arrow going out means you're going to send it somewhere. So yes, if I write a note, I can actually email it to somebody or myself. This trash can means you want to delete it. And this means you'd like to get on to the next page. So we're going to use all of these features with a brand new note. So go ahead and click on your plus sign. And you see how it created a new notebook for you. go ahead and type whatever it is that you wish to type in there. And also too, notice that you already have your date and time up there for you. Okay, so just type something simple. All right, now again, if you made an error and you'd like to correct it, take your finger, land on the word you wish to correct. Your magnifier glass should come up, move your cursor over, let go, use your back arrow here, and get rid of the word or information that you wish to change. The second feature I'd like to show you, go ahead and land your finger again on a word. Say, for example, I would like to look up the word today. So I'm going to land my finger on the word today, and I'm going to let go, and I'm going to hit the word select. And see this arrow here? Go ahead and click on that arrow. That's your dictionary. And you want to define it. Click on define, and that defines your word for you. So think of ways you can use this in the classroom. If you're using electronic books, you can land on a word and look up that word. So students, do you think this is a feature that you could possibly use? And I will give you an example of the electronic books that we use and how you can look up these words as well. So there you are, and when you're done, just click anywhere off the screen. And you can click again anywhere off the word, and you're done. Again, another feature that you can use, go ahead and land your finger on any word, let go. If I would like to change just that word, then I hit the word select. And I can either cut, copy, or paste a word. So I'm going to show you how to cut and paste. So I landed on the word showed up. I'm going to click on the word cut. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to land it to where I'd like it to be on my notepad, let go, and I want to paste my word. Again, land on it. I placed it right in the back of this word that says iPad to show you how you can actually do now what is called a select all, and you can actually take the whole sentence, cut and paste. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and move it elsewhere on my pad and paste. Okay. Again, land on your word, select all. Now I'm just going to cut it, and I don't need it. I can go ahead and start a new notepad. Let's go ahead and put that back, land on your screen, let go, and hit paste. Now I don't like where today is, so I'm going to land on today, let go, and I'm going to hit select. If I want to change just the word select, see those little toggle handles? These handles are made for you to move back and forth. So land your finger on one of the handles. I'm going to go ahead and land my finger on this top handle here, and I'm going to move it over. See how the magnifying glass turns into a square? That's telling you that you're making a specific selection. Let go, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut that information out, land it back to where I want it, let go, and then paste. I need a space there. There we go. So that is the basic features as to how to make changes to information that you have there. Now let's take a look at how to email that to yourself. Now that you have contacts already placed into your iPad, you can email. So go ahead and hit the square here with the arrow going out, and you want to click on email, or you can print it. And now I'm going to go ahead and email that to myself using another email address and send. Today, let's talk about the iPad. There we go. And off it goes. Okay. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to delete this information. But before I go there, I'm going to show you how to add another page. Just click on the arrow, and it'll give you the page previously that you were working on, and you can make changes there and toggle back and forth. To get back to the previous page, just click on the information there to the left of the screen, and there you are. So that's what these notes are for. You can toggle back and forth, or you can use your arrow to go back and forth. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Just click delete, well, your trash can, and delete note. And that note is gone. Okay? So this is something that you might want to play with. What I found this feature to be wonderful to use is anytime I'm in a meeting, I can whip out my iPad, type notes up. Think about all the different things that you can use this for. Sitting in the classroom, taking notes, anywhere. You make a grocery list if you want to. But there's so many things that you can use this particular feature for. And the beauty about it is being able to instantly email it to yourself or to a fellow faculty member or fellow student. So I don't know if you heard that sound, but that sound was the sound of my email that just got sent. And I'm going to also show you the volume controls, which I failed to show you previously, but let me show you that email. So to get to my email, this is your email feature here. And I left it to where I could accumulate dozens of email, more like hundreds of emails. So you can see what it looks like when you need to clear your email. But anyway, I'm going to click on email. And I'm going to go to my Kauai to you email. And here at the very top left, you'll see where that email was sent. Okay? So let's talk about this whole email feature as far as how to toggle back and forth. If you have created several email accounts for yourself, to get in and out of the different accounts, once again, I'm going to go back to my home screen. I'm going to click on where it says Mail. It might be in a different spot on your iPad, I just moved my my applications that I use the most to the bottom of my screen, and I'm going to show you why in a few minutes. But here I'm going to go ahead and click on the mail. See where it says the Kauai account here? Well, that's one of my email accounts. If I'd like to look at the rest of my email accounts, just click on that arrow and it will take you to the rest of your email accounts available. And you can toggle back and forth to any of your email accounts. And this is your inbox. If you'd like to look and see what you sent in your outbox, just click on that. If you'd like to see your accounts as far as what was deleted, what was sent to you, all of the information, that's here. So let's take, for example, I'm going to go to the Kauai account. Here I can see what's in my inbox, what I sent, and what I trashed. So that will give you all of your features for everything that was sent back and forth to you. Okay? And this is all of the information that you will need for your email account. I'm going to go back to the email accounts, and I'm going to go back to my Kauai account, and I'm going to show you how to use these features here. The first thing you want to look at is, do I want to delete this email? So just simply click on your trash can, and I went ahead and set it up in my settings under mail that I'd like it to ask before I delete. So anytime I hit my trash can, I'll always have this delete message. If you don't have that checked, it will automatically delete it for you. So hit delete, and then it's gone. I'd like to delete that too, please, and then it's gone. If I wish to send this email to someone else, see where that arrow is? Again, remember, the arrow means you're going to send it somewhere. Hit your arrow, and I'd like to forward this, and you can choose wherever you'd like to forward it to. And I'm going to show you a wonderful feature about this iPad. If you've contacted someone before through your email address, their name will automatically pop up. You don't have to type the entire address through. So for example, I'm going to send it to one of my other addresses. Okay, so I'm going to choose that one address up on the top, right there. And all I have to do is hit send. And once again, it's off. It just sent over and forwarded that information to myself. If I wish to, there's one more feature in the send out button. If you wish to reply or print, this is where it's at. Now, there are printers out there that are wireless that works very well with the iPad. I have one at home. I can't live without it. I can have my iPad, I'll be sitting on the deck, and I want to print something. All I have to do is hit my print feature, and it's printing upstairs. It's nice. And they are not very expensive. The prices for the wireless printers have come down tremendously. So if you are planning on buying a printer for your iPad, just check with the sales representative when you do purchase that to make sure that it is compatible with your iPad. And so the next feature I'm going to show you is how to write a note and to compose a note. Just click on that square feature there, and you can go ahead and compose your note. And once again, please try to use your iPad while we're doing this demonstration. You do not have to type anything into your subject area, although it will ask you, would you like a subject information? You don't have to. I'll give you an example. I'm just going to send this with the word hi. And I'm going to hit send. And there it'll say the subject is empty. Would you like to send anyway? And I can just go ahead and hit send, and it'll send it off for me. There it goes. Okay. Now, if I'd like to delete information from here, I can do a batch delete. And in order to do that, you want to hit the edit button on the very top. Hit edit, and go ahead and highlight everything you wish to delete. I think I want to keep that one. And then just hit delete. Delete selected messages, yes please, and it's gone. All right, so you have an idea of how to use your email. And again, the more you use these features, the easier it gets. I'm going to go back to the settings. And in the settings, I'm going to show you under where it's email, contacts, information. Click on that. And scroll down to where it says mail. And here, now you have a better picture of what these features meant. So it gave me access to these features as I use my email. I can also change my font size. If the font is too small, I can change it to large, extra large, or gigantuous if I want to, but I'm keeping it at medium. Go ahead and click on that. It'll take you right back again. You toggle back and forth. And also the lines I'd like to preview. My line preview is on 2 lines. I can click on that. If you want 1 line, you can change that, change your features around to whatever it is you wish to use. As far as data fetch, you'd like to keep the fetch data on push. And what that does for you is anytime you have email coming in, it will push it, the data will constantly push. But for me, I have it set up to where it's every 15 minutes. If you look at the advanced features on the very bottom, click on advanced. And you'll see if you wish to push any of these, you can do it here too as well. And again, click on your top arrow there, and it'll take you right back to the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and click on my home button, and there we go. So far, you've done Notepad, you've done calendar, email. We talked about the wireless environment or using 3G, looking at different features of your iPad, how to make changes to your notes, how to look information up in your dictionary. The next module is going to be looking at essentials. And the essentials, we're going to be talking about using the Safari and getting more involved with Safari, looking at iBooks, looking at the electronic books that we use at Mitchell College, using YouTube video, and how you can use YouTube in the classroom. We're going to look at camera features and where the photos get saved. We're going to look at ways to integrate video raw footage onto your PowerPoints. And we're going to look at, we already talked about FaceTime. We're going to look at the dictation features that are available on your keyboard. And that'll be your Module 2. Module 3, we're going to look at security features, how to secure your iPad, to make sure that if you do lose your iPad, you can go ahead and bing your iPad. You can find it on the map. It'll show you exactly where your iPad's located. We're going to look at applications that can be used in the classroom for academic use, the equivalent of our PowerPoint to what is the iPad Keynote, and Word to which is the iPad Pages. So at this time, I'm going to let you take a break, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss Module 2.